I love the little sign.
Oh yeah, gives you lots of fresh.
Yeah, especially living in Texas in the summertime. Very hot.
Welcome everyone, I'm Roger, and I have a very kind of, I guess special guest with me today. We're at the May 2023 workshop, and I'm here with Mary Hoyt.
Mexico traffic, Experiment 750 Zulu Whiskey, back taxi to 18 Mexico.
And we're getting ready to go for a demo flight. But Mary's already been on several demo flights. She and her husband came about 17 years ago to build the rudder of the 601XL. And her husband Pat decided he wanted to build another airplane, so went back, went up for another demo flight.
We are, and been talking a lot about the next stage of our life. He turned 60 years old today. Woohoo!
Ooh, yeah.
He wanted to spend it up here at the Zenith with our Zenith family, we call them.
Right.
And start the rudder on the 750 Cruzer that we're going to be taking home with us today or tomorrow.
Great. Well, we'll end up doing an engine run up here and checking everything out. We'll go for a nice little demo flight, and we'll do some talking about the future of the build, how the rudder workshop is going on.
Awesome.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up the RPM to 1600, and I'm going to check ignition. This is a UL Power 350i, which is 118 horse. Fuel injection, FADEC. I believe you guys on your 601 have the Viking engine now, working out well, and you're planning on using that, so that's great. Got the flaps here. We're going to check the flaps, control. Flaps are good in control. Flaps are fuels on the fullest tank, doors locked secure. Temperatures look great, oil pressure's great. Turn on the fuel pump, backup fuel pump for takeoff, and we're ready to go. What I like to do, Mary, is I like to have the stick back just a little bit from neutral, and then the nose comes off fairly quickly, and then it'll lift off probably about a second after that.
Mexico traffic, Experiment 750 Zulu Whiskey is going to be departing runway 18, will be a local flight for Mexico.
Alright, we use power. Nose comes up. And she lifts right on off. Fairly quick takeoff.
Very quick.
For not a STOL aircraft.
Very quick.
Now we'll go out here in a nice open area and just fly around. We're at safe altitude, so I'm going to go ahead and shut off my fuel pump, back up one. Now one of the nice features I like of the 750 Cruzer is when you go into level flight, the nose is down a couple degrees, so you have a lot of forward visibility. You notice your 601XL, the nose is either level or just a little bit up, and sometimes it's a little harder to see over the nose. And that's typical for most all aircraft. Go ahead and level off. Now typically you can run this engine at 2800 continuous RPM, and you'll get about 118, 120 miles an hour cruise, which is fairly nice. But I like to run it about 24, 25, and my cruise is, about 100, 105, and then it's a very rock solid aircraft too. There's trimmed it out. See how the nose is down, Mary?
Yeah, I can see everything. I love it.
And we're getting a little bit of thermals. Yeah, it's not as warm as Texas, but it's 80 degrees, so we're getting a little bit of thermal activity.
Yep. Fields.
Now, are you guys going with the single stick or the dual stick? Or do you recall?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. The majority of the customers stay with the single stick. I like the single stick. It makes it easier to get in and out. Cross country, I just lay my arm across it. It's nice.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Single stick.
And a nice turn. You can see right over the wings, through the wing. That's one of Chris's trademarks. He didn't like flying Cessnas where he couldn't see over the wing. See?
Yeah, and you can definitely see over the wing.
Right.
That's awesome. You know, coming from a low wing, it's such a different experience
Oh,
than
it
a
is.
high wing.
It's a little bit slower than the low wing, but it's got a lot of added features versus the low wing. Got the bubble doors. These are 1.5-inch bubble doors. You can go with 3-inch, but 1.5-inch is plenty, especially a Cruzer. You probably gain a little bit of speed going to smaller doors too, a little less drag. So Mary, you guys were here, you and your husband Pat were here 17 years ago, built the rudder workshop 601 XL. Can you explain how much more difficult the rudder is this time versus the last time, or how much different it is? Maybe.
So it's like night and day. With everything being pre-drilled, we are just zipping right along, although I had to remind my husband that he needed to read the instructions.
Yes, you can get a little bit fast because everything looks like it's done and you can just start throwing it together and you need to read the instructions, exactly.
Exactly, and so he had to actually listen to me and slow down a little bit. He's just excited because, you know, we're doing another project and it's his birthday and we're back, you know, in the Zenith factory, which we love being here. And but it's amazing the difference from when we were here 17 years ago to start the rudder project. And the first airplane for us, I had told him when he didn't let me know he wanted to build an airplane, I said, well, we're not going to buy anything until I get to fly in one.
Right.
And Nick Hines gave me my first demo flight. It wasn't even you, believe it or not. And he gave me my first demo flight in a 601, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah. Yeah, the 601's a nice aircraft.
It is, but as you know, as time has gone on, and you start thinking about, you know, we're getting older now, and what did we want? And we want to be able to have some flexibility of lower flying and landing in different areas, and so that's when we decided on the 750 Cruzer that it was the plane that we wanted to build, and we knew we wanted to build with Zenith again.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for that. And you guys are great supporters throughout the last 17 years. You know, going to all our rudder workshop, our homecomings in Oshkosh, and you know, even in the last year, you've done women's aviation build programs and stuff for women, and that's really great. I mean, it gets the whole family involved.
It does, and women's workshop, you know, of the hands-on experience that women have, and our biggest challenge was keeping the men out because they wanted to help, and it's like, but that's the point. You know, we women, we would let, to be honest, you know, we would let the men just take over, and so this gives the women an opportunity to do it on their own. If they have questions, they would raise their hand, and we would actually help each other.
Right.
And it was really a great teaming effort, and we're looking forward to doing it again this summer at Oshkosh again.
Great. Well, let's head back, and we'll set up for a nice landing, and you guys can finish your building your rudder. And tonight we've got a dinner we go to, and as usual, and get to talk more about airplanes.
Yay! And no, I don't want to be a pilot, for those that are asking, but I enjoy flying, so I'm fortunate that I love to fly, and I love to build.
Excellent. Oh, one last thing. I like to get my photograph scrapbook here.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll take a picture.
All right.
My 13, 14, 15,000 demo flights. I don't know.
I was going to say, how many? Too many to count now. No one will ever be up to the amount of demo flights that you've given.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
We are super excited to start the 750 Cruzer now. Another journey for the hoist.
Exactly.
Well, they must have all their plantings done now.
I think so. I think all the crops are in, just waiting for it to pop up.
Mexico traffic, Thermal 750 Zulu Whiskey is going to be in on our left downwind for runway 18 Mexico.
Okay, we got gas, undercarriage, mixed prop seatbelts. Everything looks great.
The side vents are the best.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys might want to put a, like a fresh air vent down here on the side. You can flip a handle. You know, like you said, being in Texas, you probably never get enough air.
Yeah.
It's mainly on the ground or coming into land where you need the air. Once you're in the air, I think you get enough air flow. It's just getting slower. And
That was the way over Kansas City, no trouble.
it's starting to get a little thermal activity. Sure.
Yeah. Definitely more comfortable.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to reduce the power. And we're going to bleed off airspeed a little bit so we can put a little bit of flaps. And the 601 has 20 degrees of flaps. This has 15. And we're going to start a descent, maintaining the flap range.
Mexico traffic, Thermal 750 is turning final for 18 Mexico.
Lower the flaps all the way. Not too much wind now. Got a little lift there. Sorry, we're a little high, so I'm going to slip it a little bit. That's called a slip, Mary. And lose a little bit of altitude.
0335 is 10 to the west and down runway 90, state check.
He just wants to glide right now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Caution.
Nice.
Good. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see what your husband Pat has to say about the demo flight.
I'm sure he'll be in 7th heaven flying.
Yeah, I think his brain's a little fuzzy today. So much excitement, so.
Yeah. Retirement, getting another airplane kit, turning 60.
Right.
Awesome.
Good.
Love it.
Okay. Yep, exactly.
Woohoo! Nice. And it's much easier to get in and out of.
Oh, yes.
Very nice. Woohoo! Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.